Everybody, welcome back to part 27. We're going to continue validations. Last time I made some mistakes here in the controller. As you can see here, this add pet, we're calling the attribute accessor, and we said it's equal to, this is wrong, it's not the equality operator, it's actually supposed to be equal to. Okay, so this validate step is equal to 1. Okay, so that's what we did here in the pet model. So we need to make it equal to, okay? So, and that's why, so if you watch my part 26, you can just come here and then click on the commits. And I have this inside in the comments section, in the description of the YouTube video. So just, you can grab this here, right? You can do a git pull first, and then git reset -- hard, and then you can get this commit here. But in any case, you can always click on it and then go to the pet.rb in the pet controller. You can always just click on the source code over here and then, just find the file, okay? You can app, controllers, pet controllers, app, model, like that, yeah. So just get there. So what I wanted to say here is you need to fix this to this validate step 1, and here we're just validating in the controller to make it simple. And then in number 3, sorry, this is number 3, right? Yeah, so if the step is equal to 3, then make sure that the validate step is 3. Step 4 we haven't done yet, so we're just gonna save this file. My server is running, so over here now I can obviously just click save and continue, and look what happens. Pet photos can't be blank. Okay, so that's what happens. That's great. So now we should allow the user to either, actually no, the pet photos we should always have pet photos, right? And if there's a YouTube URL, great. If there isn't, we should just let the YouTube URL be up to them. So if I was to start again and into pets new, and I was to type in I don't know, Xavier. Xavier is a cat. Okay, save and continue. So I can click all these, and obviously if I enter like -40 and I click save and continue, I get a bunch of errors, right? So I'll have to put Xavier is 10 years old. He's I don't know, 1 kilogram. Microchip, there's no microchip. Or I can even put, put some weird characters. Actually, I can put some weird characters, see what happens. Save and continue, and there you go. Pet description. First, it tells you everything else that's blank, and it also tells you about. But we should be able to create sessions and save these sessions, because obviously we lost what we wrote here. But since it's just a step process, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? But we should create sessions so we can store these values somewhere. So the pet age, so it's 10. The pet weight is 1 kilogram. I'm gonna put a valid microchip number, all digits, and pet address. I can say 55 Richmond Street West. Pet description, I can say hello, I am Xavier. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy paste here that Xavier is paid and has only 1 transportation cost. Save and continue, and it's gonna work. And here I'm gonna say local within Toronto, and then I will drop off Xavier to you within GTA, within Greater Toronto area, for $40 within 3 days, and the cost is going to be $40. Save and continue. Okay, great. So here, if I click save and continue, it's going to say, hey, pet photos can't be blank. And mind you, we can do this with JavaScript. We will. I just didn't want to put it in line like required true. So that's really bad because anyone can change it, but we can do it with an external JavaScript file, which we will. This is just server-side validation, right? So on this side, I'm just gonna grab like, I think there's some of these photos. We're gonna have to create a method to make these photos rectangular, right? So I'm gonna just grab some nice photos here that are pretty much close to rectangular. But we can edit these photos with Mini Magic. That's another topic, different section. But so if I click save and continue now, it's gonna take me to step 4. So what we need to do now, obviously, we're gonna have to add some logic in step 4. As if it's published, then show published pet. If it's not published, if it's published, then show unpublished the pet. So we need to actually work on the navigation. So if you look here in part 1, it's kind of like the user might be lost. So we kind of need to do sort of like the dashboard. Like if you went to dashboard, you would see this navigation menu here, and you see it's like scrollable. And that's what we want to accomplish too. I'm just gonna create new classes because it's slightly different. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna come back here to the step 1. So what I want to do is I want to put a navigation menu so that the user knows that the user is in that step, right? So the user is not lost. So what we can do is come back over here and add a partial file. So inside the views, I can create a partial file, new file, and I'm gonna call this, I don't know, I guess I can call this something like a steps menu. I'm gonna say steps underscore menu dot html dot erb, and inside the steps menu, I'm gonna add some bootstrap. So I'm gonna do like a div with a call that just basically it's like flexbox, right? And I'm gonna make sure the background is white, and I don't know, big, I don't know, maybe just do a div call. So div dot call. Okay, so now I'm gonna do that's gonna be step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay, so in each one I'm gonna do that, and inside it I'm gonna add like a bunch of stuff, like, you know, actually I'm just gonna do a link. So a link to. So obviously we're gonna need to wrap it on a link too, right? Because the user wants to be able to click on it and go to that step in case they want to like fill out another part of the step. So I'm gonna do a link to here. So link underscore to, and I'm gonna basically just say something like nothing. I'm not gonna give it a name. I'm not gonna put an href. I'm just gonna put the URL link, the edit pet path. So edit pet underscore path, and then I'm gonna pass that pet and also the step, right? So let's say the step is equals to 1. So this will take me to step 1, and I'm gonna add some class here. I'm not sure what class to add, but oh yeah, the D block. So that's display block, right? So display block. I don't know. Okay, so display block. What else should I add? Actually, we need to put a do, right? So we need to wrap that inside an end here. And let's just test how this is gonna look. But we should put span, and then inside I'm gonna put like the, you know, step 1 is complete or something. Actually, I'm gonna say step 1 here. Step 1, I'm gonna say pet details, pet details, and I guess that's wrapped like that. So if the user clicks on this, it will take them to step 1, right? And then underneath it, I'm gonna put maybe another span, and I'm gonna say something like either completed or not completed. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say complete, completed, right? So completed, and maybe put a check, put a fa check. So we're gonna put an I with a class equals to fa. I forget. Yeah, it's fa check mark. Fa dash check mark. Actually, no, it's fa check. I think it's fa check. What else? We need to float float dash right, float right, and give it a nice color, text dash muted, like a lighter, and fa check text. Okay, so let's see how this looks. So if we come back, obviously we have to add this file. We have to render this file here in the edit. So I think we can put it here. So render render steps. What do we call it? Steps underscore menu. So render steps menu. Save it and then refresh, and should be. Ooh. Okay, so we have steps 1 pet details completed. So we need to put in. Okay, let me add a let me add a break in between. So break, save it, and okay, so we can put a background. We can put a background VG dash white. See how that looks. Background white, and if we put a border, it will show. So now it's just not showing. So let's put a border. Save it. So there's a border. Okay, that's good. So we have a border. As long as there's a border, because once we fill out the rest of the columns, it's gonna all like stack up. I mean, it's gonna be side by side. It's gonna be fine. And then I think we did something wrong with the fa check. I think there, float right. That should work. You should see it here on the right. Okay, very good. So that's completed, and I think we can put a mark. Oh man, I don't know. I guess we can say text primary class equals to text primary. Okay, that's already by default text primary. Inside the second one, we can put like a heavy font weight. Class equals to. We don't even need to CSS. We'll just do it like that. Font. I forget font weight. Font weight bold. Okay. Okay, that's good. And we can say we have the text. Let's just remove this text muted and put it here instead. And then actually, we just leave one here too. Text muted, so it matches. Okay, that matches. And then what we can do is maybe put a margin up and down in the vertical my. So we can add some margin here maybe, or yeah, we can say my-2, and yeah, let's do that and see how it looks. Oh, there. So I guess we can put I don't know, maybe like put a rounded border. Border rounded, border dash rounded. No, border rounded. We can put it here. Fresh. Okay, it's not working. I think it's just rounded. So, okay, as you could see here, the border just got rounded. Step 1, pet details. So now if we actually just take this, copy that, and then paste it over the other, that's 2, 3, and then step 4 here. That should be that. You see that? That's ooh. So there, I suppose we can put. Oh boy. I guess if we do a row, maybe we wrap everything inside a row. Div dot row, and then we can grab all this and paste. I'm gonna put the bottom part, and then just make sure it's wrapped inside a row. Sorry. So that should be there. So I guess we should put a margin right for each of these columns, right? So put a mr mr-2, that should be good, sufficient. Okay, so we got all these steps, right? Oh yeah, so let me just put mr2 here on the first block. On there's too much, no, there's not, it's fine. On the second block, on the third block, and on the fourth. Save it, refresh. Okay, so we got margin right on everything. Oops. So now we need to put margin bottom. I guess we can, hold on, let me just wrap this here. Put a div dot margin bottom, I don't know, 5 maybe? I don't know if that's gonna work. I think the maximum is 5, and then you have to put your own classes. So I'm gonna wrap, oh boy, what did I do here? So that's, let me just do this, and then do that, and then just indent it properly. So, ooh, so the problem is this row is actually, okay, so if I was to remove this here, if I remove that, what would happen? Then it's working. So we can put margin MB-5. Okay, so that works like that. So another thing we need to do is add, make sure that each one of them is a scrollable item, just like we did previously. So we can say like this item is scrollable, or yeah, we can make sure that each item in there is scrollable, and also like put a wrapper so that, like, because right now if we do this here, it doesn't work, right? So what I'm gonna do is I guess what I'm gonna do is just put like wrap the whole entire thing, but this is a row here. How? Actually, let me just put here scrollable dash wrapper. Okay, I'm gonna say scrollable wrapper. I'm gonna copy that and come to application.html.scss. I'm sorry, application.scss, and then I'm gonna say scrollable menu for steps. Okay, so I'm gonna put my class, and then in here, obviously it's just like the previous one, but I'm gonna do it slightly different. So I'm gonna say width, I guess, I don't know, 100%, right? So we'll try 100%, and then put a height. I guess put a height on it. Height 140 pixels. Put a overflow scroll, and I don't know, I guess put a margin for now. I'll leave it for 0, then we'll edit it on, and then put white space, no wrap. Okay, so save that. Now nothing will happen because, and actually maybe something will happen. Let's see, back to the pets menu, scrollable wrapper instead of a row. Let's see how this looks, refresh, and it's gonna be perfectly fine. It's not gonna break. Oh, it did stack up one on top of the other now. Okay, so that's fine, but because we need to, we'll put a scrollable item. I'm just gonna create here, in here, I'm gonna say scrollable item, scrollable dash item, and I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna put it in here, in here, in here. Okay, now I'm gonna take this class over here and try to scrollable item and style it accordingly. We'll make sure it's displayed as inline. So display inline block, right? And then we also know we need to give it a width too. So let's say a width of, I don't know, 240, 250, maybe 260, 260 pixels, and a height of 80 pixels, and a background. There's no need to put a background because we already put a background. But let's just leave it. We already have height of 80 pixels. Save it. Steps menu, save that also. And I think, well, let's see what happens now. Refresh. Okay, very good. So you see now this is it's right there, and if we come here, look what happens. So depending on which step you're in, so look at that. That's great. So now, actually, this margin bottom thing needs to go. Margin bottom 5. That needs to go. There's no need to have that. And there we go. So if we do that, we have a menu. That's amazing. So now we need to make sure that whenever we're in that step, so we're in step 1 here. This is, first of all, we need to come make sure we change the steps. This is going to be step 2. This is going to be step 3. This is going to be step 4. And then this is going to be, of course, step 4 again. Pet publish, right? Pet the step 3 is going to be media, right? Step 3 is going to be media. Pet media. Step 2 is going to be pet transportation. Pet transportation. And step 1 is going to be pet detail. So if we come here and refresh here, you'll see everything's changed. And also we need to, and actually if we click on those, actually, you know what, we should put text decoration none for this, because you see it goes to the steps, right? Different steps. We also need to put text decoration none. So we can put that inside the link too. So text dash decoration, text decoration dash none. Okay, so inside each of this link to, we need to put text decoration none, because we don't want those underlines. It's just ridiculous. So look, there's no text decoration now. All right, so if we look here now, I'm just gonna clean this up and just grab this, and I'm going to indent it over. All right, so that's done, but we need to put some logic to express what. So what's happening here? If I was to remove the, so this border here, it's fine. It looks fine. But we can add a border shadow. Let's put shadow. Okay, so so rounded MR2. So let me just border. We have a border. Okay, we want a border, and then we have it, and then we also know it's rounded, but we can change the border color. So let's say border dash primary, right? So if we do border primary and we add a shadow, so a shadow dash small, okay? If we put a shadow, you'll notice these are bootstrap classes. You'll notice the shadow will be bigger too. So if we do like shadow, even if we remove the border primary and we do shadow large, so here you should see a big shadow, which is ridiculous. So shadow small, border dash primary. That should be sufficient to make it look like, oh, border primary didn't work. Border, I put double dash. So that should be sufficient to kind of, for the user to know this is it. Okay, so so if step is completed, okay, if step is completed, or actually no, if it's step 1, okay, if it's step 1. So what do we do? So we can take border primary and shadow small, okay, if the current step is step 1. So I'm going to cut that, okay, and I'm going to put it at the end here, okay. So I'm going to say, let's put some, oh boy, what have I done? So there's no autocomplete there. Okay, so I'm going to put it inside of there. So border primary, I'm just going to make this bigger here. So border primary, shadow small, I guess, maybe not. Let me just cut this here. So I guess we'll put an if else statement. Oops. Let me just cut this. and put an if-else statement, but in short. So if the step is equal to 1, so if the step is equal to 1, then we can do border primary shadow small. Else, right? That's a short form of if else. So actually, let me just. So I guess it will be border. It would just be border light, and shadow none, shadow dash none. Right. So if that's the case, okay. So let's do that. So so now you will see it will be primary because it is the step is that. So let's cut that, copy that, and so I'll paste it here. Oh yeah, paste it on the second one, and the third step, and the fourth step. Now, if the step is equal to 4, because it's 4, if the step is equal to 3, if the step, we should do a helper for this, but anyways, I'm going to do it like that. So save it now, refresh, and you'll notice everything here. Ooh, yeah, it has a border. You can see it. So if I click on that, then it works, you see? And it's perfect. We should do this JavaScript instead, but I think it's fine. We can just do it like that. So that's the menu. So we are done with the menu, and our steps are working. On the next, on part 28, I decided to make those videos shorter. On part 28, I'm going to work on the publish page, because there's going to be some logic there, and I'm trying my best not to put logic in the on the view. But as you can see, it's convenient, and sometimes you just need to do it what you need to do. But later on, if we integrate it with React, it might be a pain. So it's better to have everything in controllers in the back end. Leave the back end for the back end, the front end for the front end. It was nice working with you guys on this part, and I'll see you guys in part 28 for the publish part. Okay, thanks, bye.